Hi guys, it's Jake from Tactical, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new ACETECH AURAMIST tracer unit. Now this is their new line of smoky tracer. However, it doesn't require any oils or any like liquid to put into it. It's just water, all right? So yes, it requires liquid, but nothing that you'd have to buy or go out the way of your daily routine to find. Okay, it should be really accessible to use. We're going to take a look at this compared to the Smokey BT from E-Shooter and just compare the two. Price differences, obviously what it runs on, how it's built, how it feels, and then obviously we'll do a quick fire test as well of the pair of them, just so we can see side by side how they compare against each other. So we'll take a closer look at them, we'll unbox them, get some better eyes on, and then we can make a decision later on the range of which one we think is better value for money or the best one that you should buy. Right then, straight into it. Let's take a look at the two of them side by side. So the boxing and the packaging, the ACETECH has its minimal kind of packaging, you know, the white box with the kind of one-to-one scale of what the product looks like. All right, these retail for £120, which is a steep price tag. You've got the QR code there for your logos and everything else if you need to go into their website for the manual, give a bit more of information about the product, serial numbers, okay, and obviously the relevant safety information on the side. They don't come shrink wrapped, they are just normal cardboard box that you can open up. E-Shooter, we've got like a shrink wrap finish on it. Explains a little bit more about the functions of the two tracer units exactly. So again, CNC precision, you know, anti-corrosion, wake up by shaking, and RBG LED. Also then tells you about the Bluetooth control, the flame effect, the lithium-ion batteries, and the fact it has the chronograph built into it as well. Got a bit more of the specs on the back, so a little bit easy to see, and these are $99.99. So again, quite a pricey tracer unit, but this again has the smoke effect into it. Let's open them up and we can take a look. This is more focusing on the AURAMIST because it is a brand new tracer to the market, which has only come out very recently. We did see this at Iowa at the start of the year, which obviously explained about this new water type tracer units. And hopefully as these get better and more improved, we'll start to see them shrink down into more compact devices, okay? But at the moment, they're quite a decent bulky sized tracer. You know, it's not something for a small CQB weapon and maybe not for a pistol, but at the end of the day, you've got to get the tech in there somehow, okay? So on first response here, looking at it, it's a really nice CNC kind of machine feel. It's got like a matte kind of finish to it in a way. You've got the logos on the side there. Some people do like logos, some don't. You've got the 14mm thread, obviously the writing on the side there too. And we have the openings here for the tracer flash at the front. I'm just trying to look at it. I mean, it seems quite recessed in. So I would like to say that you probably wouldn't get a BB to the front of there that would smash it. However, BBs have a way. It does unscrew at the front as well. So unscrewing that here. Nice long thread. And you can remove the inner of the tracer out, okay? Which means that you can leave this end essentially back onto the rifle or whatever you've got it onto without any issues. There's a spring there again for a spacer, so that keeps it nice and tight, stops it from rattling around. That just goes in first. And also you see we've got some ventage on the back side there. So looking at the manual as well, you can see here, which I didn't show initially, a little paper manual by ACETECH, which I'm sure you can find all this online as well, should you wish to do it. But it's the AURAMIST M, contains one AURAMIST, the manual, and 2 refill needle bottles. And I think that's just to make it easier for you to actually get access to putting the water into the hole which is required. So you can see here again, you've got the buzzer tracer, tracer flame. Depends on what you'd like on. So if you want the settings to do smoke or just obviously no mist and only tracer, it will do that for you as well. And then obviously we've got the different language writing on the back. So the inside is a polymer composite, which has a fill flap here for the wicks. Now it looks to me like that is a push out and down, but I should have read the instructions, but we're just going to give it a wing. So we'll find out how we get that filled up. But it feels a little bit delicate, if I'm being honest. The fill might be through the front on there, and that might just be the reservoir to be able to view it. Again, I will read the manual before we do this and properly have a look at it. And you've got your mode settings on here on the sides, which again, for other tracers, if you've had them, you can see you've got your different settings. So that one there is your flame, and this is your power on. Okay, so your mode settings, and it's USB-C rechargeable as well. And I'm sure if you had a different, you know, tracer inside, you could probably just drop that into the tube as well, in case you obviously run out of battery, you want to get this charged up, or you run out of fluid. So that is pretty much that. And again, looking at it here, just kind of get my eyes on, it says nothing about filling it or where to fill it. yes, refill port at the front. So it's refilled at the front, and the sides are just there so you can see the actual the quantity of how much fluid's in there. So we will get this filled up, we'll get it on charge so we can give it a test as well, and that's absolutely fine, but we'll sort that one for you. Next one again is the E-Shooter, so I'm just going to push this to the side for 1 second so it's slightly out of shot, just so we can see exactly what we've got. So the E-Shooter one, look in here, the Flare Smokey Bluetooth. Again, you download the E-Shooter app for this, and inside, obviously, you open the box, you've got your manual, which has all the details here of how to fill it. Okay, again, all this is available online as well, and you have demonstrations of the app itself, which is where you can see here. You can obviously select what settings you've got it on, or what specific tracer unit you've got, and obviously you can change all the functions and descriptions via the app rather than doing the push button, which is quite nice. And then we have the tracer unit itself. So, tracer, unscrew at the back. You can unscrew the front as well. Unscrewing that. You can see here, this is no kind of outer casing. It is just polymer on the inside and circuitry. It does feel heavier. It's definitely a heavier tracer unit and feels a little bit more durable than the AURAMIST, but maybe they're going for the lightweight approach. There's a sump plug here, which you pull that out, and you fill this with the fluid. And then there's your fan to push the smoke in. There's a lot of raw components here, which are visible still to the outside and are very easy to touch and break, so you have to be careful with this. The charging port is there, okay, which is right at the front, and your mode buttons are at the back, and your lights obviously to see how it's performing. Okay, and then you can see on the inside here, you've actually got a acrylic panel at the front with a hole which sits into the middle of the tracer unit there. Okay, now that doesn't offer much protection if it does get shot out. That is gonna shatter. So it might be worth, you can pick up acrylic inserts for these. I've seen the same for the Nebula Mist Tracer too. You can actually get replacement insides that you can just change. And I think you can unscrew the front too. So unscrewing the front enables you to replace that plastic there. So it's nice and easily accessible. And screwing that back on, yeah, it's pretty nice, decent thread. And this one runs on essential oil. So you can see here, you get a little pot of the essential oil, which is here, which is quite nice. Obviously, it's good that you get some with it because you're going to want to use it straight away. However, buying this and replacements, obviously you should stick to the manufacturing guidelines about which oils to use, and you get your charging lead too, and you get a little thread adapter in there as well. I didn't know if we got a thread adapter in the ACETECH. No, we didn't. So there's no thread adapter in the ACETECH one, okay? But again, it looks like it's designed for a rifle rather than a pistol, but at least this gives you the option if you do want to put that onto an inside thread, so you can put that onto an inside thread, okay? Now, what we're going to do for the fire in this one, we're going to use a previous clip that we've got of a video firing the E-Shooter Smokey BT, just so we're not cracking all the fluids and everything open, because obviously then it's going to become like a heavily used product, okay? But we will obviously do a test right now on the AURAMIST and actually get this filled up and good to go on the range so we can see how it performs. And then we'll do a clip side by side of the AURAMIST versus the E-Shooter Smokey Wolf. The E-Shooter Smokey Flare Tracer. So we've got it installed. We've got it on the end of the 416 TM recoil. We are using tracer rounds, of course. So it's the White Sphere company tracer rounds. And we're just going to give it a fire now to see the mist. We have got this on the highest setting. So looking more into depths on what it can do, you can illuminate the red and the green BBs. And you can also set it to 3 different types of mist setting, which is quite nice if you don't want to have it, smoking all the time, or too much smoke, or not enough smoke. So that's something to bear in mind. So you can't test this by dropping a BB through it and seeing if it will run like other tracers. I think it requires the recoil or the notion of the rifle firing, okay? And hopefully you can see that we have this really cool kind of nice flame effect. I'm just going to move this closer to the camera at the front, so hopefully you can see that here from the front when I'm firing. So you can see here that this is just water, it's just mist, and it gives a really nice flash, like an amber flash to the front. Kind of simulates muzzle flash. And then obviously the tracer BB that's following out on the other end. Now you can turn that tracer off, you don't have to have the tracer set. Do a bit of full auto as well. Now one thing what I do notice, and hopefully you can hear this, I might just put it to the mic a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a sound of the fan. It's really quiet. It's not too loud. It's no different than any other noise that you might get. But there's a definite decent amount of mist there. And again, it's just water. You just refill it with the little bottles that you get provided, and you can just top that back up with more water after. It's quite impressive. I think for me, it looks like a really nice recoil. I think it performs a real nice simulation effect. I think it probably would work better with the single shot, where you get enough to build up a bit of smoke and allow for the flash to kind of show into the smoke at the end, which you can see there. That kind of gives the best effect. On full auto, I don't know if it's just too much for it to really see it in the best benefit, because then you've still got smoke coming out when you've finished. But yeah, to be honest, it's really good. It's really nice. I don't know if it's worth the extra £20 over the other features. Oh, let's knock the camera around. I don't know if it's worth the extra £20 over the other features of the E-Shooter Flare MOSFET, Flare tracer. I think realistically, for having the app that works with all of your E-Shooter MOSFETs and all of your other tracer units, and if you're part of that ecosystem anyway, I think it's probably best to stay with the E-Shooter. However, the AURAMIST definitely, I think, gives a nicer smoke, and the ease of just being able to put water into it, I think, is better. So I think it's got a better effect and much easier use of effect as well. And you can change that a little bit more. However, the ease of using the app for the E-Shooter, to me, and having the chronograph built into it, let's say if you're going to buy a chronograph anyway, it's going to cost you £50, maybe about 40 if you're buying a cheap one. But anywhere from 30 to £70 for a decent chronograph, and you can actually just get that built in with your tracer unit, which I think obviously is a massive win for E-Shooter on that one. But saying that, I do think this is an easier to use product. Once you understand the manual system and you're happy with the buttons, it is pretty simple. Reading that manual at first is a bit tricky, but it's not too difficult. So hopefully that's given some light if you've been on the fence about getting one of the new ACETECH AURAMISTs. Again, we have them in stock. We've got some more coming this week as we sold out across the weekend. And hopefully, if you're looking to pick one up, guys, you can check this out and order this online. But it's a good bit of kit, definitely worth having a look at. And if you're in store or you want to see it, obviously on the shelf, come and chat with us and we can show it to you. Or again, follow and subscribe for some more videos with new Airsoft content every single week.